on the beat.
Swag on the beat. Swag on the beat.
Welcome back to episode 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 of the Swag on the Beat podcast.
We're on to the next hand.
We're on to the next hand. We are closing in on that notorious 7th podcast episode.
Is it notorious?
Meaning you're like in the top 5% of podcasts or something. So we're cracking on there.
Okay.
We're going to get there.
I don't know. I've got a bad feeling about this one.
Oh, really?
I don't think we're going to make it.
Oh, okay. Let's start
Jokes.
strong then.
Opposite day.
Jokes. Opposite.
Classic.
Oh, the classic of the month.
Yeah, gotcha.
Opposite day.
Yeah.
Gotcha. Yeah, got it. Classic Isaac's gotchas.
Yeah.
Haven't brought it out since year 4, but now we're back.
I join in next week for another Isaac's Gotcha, where I get Jack.
Okay. Look forward to that.
No, I won't get you anymore.
Oh, really? That's the end of the pranks?
Prank, got you again. Yeah.
Okay.
Got him twice. Okay.
No, so now you have to wait. You can't do one next week because that's another gotcha.
I'm going to get one per week.
Let's just quickly do a little bit of admin.
Mm-hmm.
We spoke about at the top of the show last week the 10-year photo thing on my personal Instagram.
Yep.
The idea being I haven't posted since 2014 and it is the 10-year anniversary of that post and we want to recreate that photo.
Going to break the internet.
We're going to break the internet. Now, what have we realized? That exact 10-year date comes around really fast. 10 years goes like this. All of a sudden, it's really, really close to the date. So we're going to call it summer of 10 years, probably. We're not going to hit the date exactly.
Right.
So that's the first
Because the date
rule.
was an early December date, wasn't it?
Yes, it was.
Okay.
Yes, and you know, we did everything we possibly could to try and hit that date, but the overwhelming feeling from everyone, you know, behind the headphones and behind the cameras was just do it right.
Yeah. Is there someone behind me? No. So, yes. Wait, so it's the 10 summer anniversary.
Yeah, 10 summer.
10 summer anniversary.
10 summers of no posting.
That has a much better
ring to it. And that overall better vibe.
Yeah.
Not because we weren't organised.
No.
But we had another message come in from a guy called Matt Rothwell, who we very much appreciate. And I'm going to say a loyal listener to the show.
Oh, wow.
He's listened to every single episode we've ever done.
Wow.
So I think that's something to be, you know, really proud of. And we should have an honor wall somewhere as well next to the comments honor wall.
Yeah, we should.
He says, "Hey guys, nice work on launching the podcast. Just thinking about how Jack can replicate that famous schoolies photo. And I think you're overthinking the specifics of the photo itself. It's all about the lead up. You need to replicate the weekend that was. Go to the same restaurants, bars, etc., and take out all the variables that could have impacted your photo. Better yet, sitting some sort of exam with your mates the week before is going to lead to the most authentic recreation of that photo. Best of luck." And then he sends a link to found some old HSC papers for you, which is like the year 12 exam papers. So what I'm trying to say is the reason we're a bit more delayed is we're really mulling on the vibe of the week that was leading up to it, because you can tell in the faces of each people in the photo that they're feeling a certain way.
Yeah.
So Matthew Rothwell, thank you so much.
So in order to be true to the vibe of the photo, you have to recreate the vibe at the time.
We've had someone send in a piece of audio which is going to kickstart the energy of building this vibe that Matthew is talking about. So here is the first piece of vibe. Okay. So we've got THX.
Okay, so it's purely vibe enhancing audio. Okay.
Like THX, which makes you feel pumped, and the action of clicking.
And one sound that was repeated.
Now, full transparency, someone in the studio might have made that, and someone in the studio might have forgotten to introduce it closer to the top of the show, where it would have been more appropriate to bring in.
Right.
Before I talked about what this topic was.
No, I like it.
Before we move on as well, I've got one other thing. I had this thought when we were coming in. We film in an area that is quite dense with cafes. So it's a high density of cafes in this area. And a big sniff and a big thing that you notice is when we've tried to go get a coffee or sometimes we go and get lunch afterwards, it's very busy.
Yep.
And notorious in the city where we're from in Melbourne is cafe culture being such a big part of day-to-day life.
Yeah.
And a lot of the time, if you're there in a peak, time, it's very hard to get a table.
Yeah.
So I want to try and usurp the system here, and I want to see if we can bring our own table to a cafe, sit down, and see if we get served. How long will it take for us to get served, and can we pull it off, basically? And just then all of a sudden we've solved it for every single person who can't get a seat at that really good cafe.
Just BYO
Just bring your own table and you'll get in straight away.
Well, we could go a step further and just bring our own coffees and toasted sandwiches and just get served straight away.
That'd be good.
As soon as we sit down.
That's immediate. Wait, let's just forget the whole table thing. Just do that at home.
Yeah, just to make coffee.
Make a toasted sandwich at home.
Yeah, and I've got a table at my house.
Have you got one of those tables that like sit on your bed for like TV dinner?
No.
Because then you don't have to get out of the bed.
I've got a big dining table, but you could put it on the bed. It would just be high.
Maybe we could sedate ourselves so we don't have to be conscious and just drip feed the nutrients into our veins.
Ham and cheese sandwiches straight into the veins.
That's way more convenient.
Yeah, that's a great idea.
Okay,
I'm glad we got there.
Wow, we really narrowed that down. But
No,
what do you think about that?
Yeah, I like it. I hate waiting in lines.
Yes, you do.
And so I think it's a great idea. Yeah, but I'm interested to see how we're going to tackle the table challenge because each venue will have its own tables. Like I was.
Well, no, you don't take a table from the venue.
No, you BYO table, but you're going to have to match the tables to the ones at the venue. Because I think
Yeah.
venues would be pretty like I'd be able to identify their furniture because I was out at a bar on Saturday and my friend was waiting for us at the bar across the road, had a drink in his hand in a glass.
Yep.
And he came over and sat with us because we were like went to the bar on the other side of the road, brought his glass from the joint across the road. And the person from this bar we were at came over and said, "Oh, like that's not one of our glasses. Can you go put that back to where you got it from?"
Really?
Yeah. So knew straight away as soon, and it was
Wow.
just a straight up and down cylindrical glass.
Wow.
And they
That's,
knew it
I
straight
thought
away.
you were going to say spherical glass. It'd be horrible.
No.
But that's
There was a
really,
fish
they're so
inside it.
territorial, these hospitality venues. Okay,
Well-
so maybe a bit more thought about it. Maybe it's a tablecloth venue so that it hides the table.
But
maybe?
either way, you need to get the same tablecloth, unless it's just a white tablecloth,
A white
which
tablecloth,
is pretty easy. But also, you'd think a place with a tablecloth would be a little bit more upper class, and maybe they'd have their
so I wouldn't
spatial.
fit in.
that.
Maybe you should just do that one by yourself.
And their spaces would be full sufficiently, so maybe a wild table would stick out more. But
Anyway,
All things to consider.
let's mull it. I think it would be good.
yeah,
Do we think? Would you just sit there and wait, or would you go up and say, "Oh, we haven't been served yet"? After a while, or you play it by year?
Yeah, I don't know. I think you'd have to wait, right? Otherwise, you're just pushing in the line anyway, which you could do
Yeah.
without your own table.
Yeah. All right, more to come on tables and photos for 10 years. Well,
Jack,
Isaac.
I've bitten the bullet,
Oh no!
and now my teeth are chipped.
Damn, that
No.
looked great from here.
Ah, well, it was a small bullet. No, I decided to bite the bullet and start paying for YouTube Premium.
Really?
Yep.
Really?
I'm a YouTube Premium guy.
Wow.
I've been thinking about it for it's been a long time coming.
Wow, that's very interesting.
I know,
That-
but-
I wouldn't expect you to do that.
No, well, the reason is because I've started watching more YouTube on the TV in the lounge room.
Okay.
As a kind of like Netflix or streaming substitute. And
Yeah.
I'm watching, you're laughing already, but I'm watching longer form videos that come with longer ads. And there's frequently 4 or 5 60-second ads in these 20-minute videos.
Okay.
But what was funny about that?
Oh, because like sometimes, like if you walk in to the lounge room at home, you know, if Dad's there,
Yeah.
and you're, oh, Dad, what are you watching? He'll be watching something, and he'll go, oh, YouTube.
Yeah,
Like
right.
it's just like an umbrella term.
If there's a moving thing on the screen. it's
but you
YouTube.
would never say I'm watching Netflix.
Yeah.
You know,
Yeah, your dad
would you though?
Yeah, I think you would. Wouldn't? Oh,
If someone walks in and says, "What are you watching?" You don't
Yeah,
say,
no, you'd
"I'm
be more
Netflix."
specific.
You'd go Breaking
bread. Yeah.
Thrones or whatever.
Church,
Those
Yeah,
silly
no,
game box
Yeah,
games
no,
are.
you're right.
Anyway, yeah.
But I guess the nature of YouTube is that it's its own beast, and there's so much out there, and there's so many niche rabbit holes you can go down.
Sure.
And then the recommended feature on the homepage gets to know you really well.
Yeah.
And my recommended knows me really well by
Yep.
now because
Yeah.
almost everything it suggests to me is a banger. And so
In
there's
your opinion, respectfully.
yeah, well, yeah. I mean, my opinion. So, and my opinion is right all
Yeah.
the time. That's just random though. So yeah, some things I've been liking recently are like watching dudes build forest huts and snow
yeah,
caves
they are good.
with the sounds of nature and
they are good,
chopping wood and starting fires and
Yep.
just therapeutic. I love seeing how stuff is made, how like different products are made. There's this dude that all his videos are titled "Forging a Damascus Katana out of 100,000 safety pins," and you just see him melting down all this steel and then forging it into some sweet ass knife or sword. And then a bunch of random music stuff like if Black Sabbath wrote "Never Gonna Give You Up" or if System of a
Like
Down
AI stuff?
wrote "My Humps." No, it's like people doing.
Oh
covers
yeah,
of
I've
it.
seen that. Yeah, they're
And
good.
there's
Yep,
just
yep,
so
yep.
much good stuff out
There
there.
is,
Like,
yes,
are you much of a YouTube guy?
Pretty big YouTube.
Yeah?
Yeah.
What's some jack routes you've gone down?
The thing that recently, look, I'm not going to try and make myself sound really good and like you sound. They sound like cool things to look at, but with the recent tour of I Show Speed in Australia, you know, the streamer guy.
Yeah.
He was on the news and everything, and I was like, well, I knew of him.
Yeah.
I hadn't like gone deep into speed. What?
And the YouTuber as well.
And the YouTuber. But I've started watching some of his stuff, and then by proxy you get like Mr. Beast and stuff.
Okay.
And Mr. Beast, the way he structures a video, I know it's like, well, it's like it's for everyone, right? So
Yeah,
it's so engaging.
It's science based, right?
Yeah, it's incredible. And now he's got this show coming out in Amazon. It's either out or it's closed.
Is this sponsored or no?
No,
It is
no,
not
it's not. But it's the biggest game show ever in history,
Wow.
and it's $5 million US.
What about deal or
prize.
no deal? In Australia? Although the top prize has gone down from 200 grand to 100 grand.
Really?
Yeah, and you only get $250 if you guess it in your you're right in your case, not $500.
Not so booyah.
So maybe that's why Mr. Beast is about to pip them, because they've gone slightly downhill.
Yes.
Otherwise,
Anyway.
deal or no deal would be the top.
Yeah, that's my right now.
Right, so you're
YouTube.
getting into the real sort of engaging,
The good stuff.
That's real Gen Z material right there.
Well, yeah.
Speed and
the
Mr.
Godfather
Beast. Yeah,
of-
Logan Paul as well is right up your
Yeah,
alley.
Logan Paul. Yeah.
Well, interesting. I mean, guilty pleasures. Everything is on YouTube. That's the moral of the story.
Even this right now is on YouTube.
Exactly. But the one thing I can't stand about YouTube is when there's a video with a really interesting looking title or an interesting looking thumbnail, and then you click in the video thinking, oh, this is going to be so good. And then immediately there's just the most annoying voiceover you've ever heard. And within the first 3 seconds, you have to turn it off because it's almost like they just tried to hire the person with the most insufferable voice to narrate the video. And it happens quite frequently.
Does it?
And I've got a couple of examples here.
Real life examples.
Real life examples of YouTube videos with interesting titles that I've gone to click on
Yeah. Okay.
only to be immediately disappointed.
Yeah, hitting the back button like no one's business.
Exactly. And I've had to do that quite a bit recently. So I've got a few titles here that sound interesting, and then I'm going to play the snippet, the very start of the video. And
Okay.
you can see, you can feel my pain.
Now, the thing I want to know is, did you watch the video long enough to give them the view? So they're going to be spreading this commentary around to other people as well through the algorithm.
I think at the time I would have been, 3 seconds and it counts as a view?
Yeah, okay.
I would have been out of there before 3 seconds.
3
when I
seconds
was
of
watching.
hearing a voice and you're out.
But then in collecting the data for this segment, I would have ticked over a couple for them.
Okay,
So
so,
you're welcome, these guys. So, okay, the first one, why ships never pass under South America. Ooh,
Under South America.
yeah. As in...
Oh, there's not some
la-
really awesome tunnel.
Longitudinally, no. Like underneath on the
Yeah,
map.
got it. Yep.
Which sounds interesting immediately.
Yeah, I'm in. Yeah,
Yeah.
Cape Fear.
Yeah, exactly. So, but yeah, it sounds like an interesting video,
Yep.
only to hear.
This is about a place where anything can randomly happen.
Wow.
I don't want to
that's-
listen to
yeah,
that, dude.
It's like Seth Rogen, but like more Sesame Street or
Yeah,
something.
more cartoon version.
Yeah, wow.
So, I mean, why do ships never pass under South
We'll
America? I guess
never
we'll never know. Maybe
Yeah.
there's some kind of Bermuda Triangle under it. Except an
It's the-
Argentina square.
The guy in
underneath.
North America is too annoying. So they go down south. Why doesn't make sense anyway.
So the next one, extraordinary houses in extreme places.
Yeah, pretty good.
Wow, interesting. And the thumbnail was this extraordinary house in an extreme place. And so I clicked on it immediately, only to find out.
Have you ever imagined living in a place unlike any home you've ever known?
Shut up. I don't want to hear that.
Wow.
I watched that one on mute for a bit because it was very visually appealing. But
Okay.
then there was too many
What do you call that music? Like
royalty-free.
royalty-free real estate agent?
Not nice, whatever it is.
Yeah.
And the next one is titled The Immense Power of Nature.
Amazing.
Immediately, sign me up. I want to watch this.
Yep.
Back in 2017, Greenland was hit with a tsunami.
That's not a real voice.
And then later in the
That
video...
is not a real voice.
Back in 2018, this massive mudslide in Switzerland was caught coming down a mountain. The chance of something like this happening is so crazy.
Sounds like Kip from Napoleon Dynamite. I know. I mean, this one does have some comedic value to it. So
That's funny.
You could listen for a bit more, but matched with the immense power of nature, it just didn't line up.
It's like their chin was on their vertebrae.
Well, it may have been, because you won't believe it, but I actually scrolled onto their account and I came across one of their videos of them narrating one of our videos.
Oh,
a
really?
swag video. Yeah, it was the
Wait, so they're doing the immense power of nature and
narrating our police sketch.
oh,
Yeah,
That's weird.
Yeah, I know. I'm not sure how they've seen it, but I recorded the audio from the video.
You will never believe these two creators from Australia. They're called Swag on the Beach and watch as they walk past these unsuspecting police officers. Watch this Brendan Fraser lookalike hilariously jumble the words constable and afternoon. Followed by this derelict-looking homeless man with tattoos who says something derelict and homeless-sounding. They then begin a silly walk that just looks so silly. These police officers will think again before stopping these two jabronis.
Wow.
A little bit more heavy-handed than his
Wow,
last narration.
Something about that just felt more homey or more familiar. But
Yeah, must have been because it was our
that
video.
voice
I know.
would drive me
Yeah,
mad.
crazy. Just, yeah.
Like, there's almost nothing he could do with his voice box. Just the whole tone of the entire sound
yeah, or
is
just
always going to sound bad.
or just give up on every sentence like this. Not every sentence has to end on a dash.
Loves a low octave change at the end of the sentence for the final word.
Yeah, so we promise not to put any annoying narration on the top of our podcast, just the regular annoying voices.
Well,
of us
this is
speaking.
already we're already there. I think
So
we're in the club.
For the next segment, we're talking about YouTube. Can't wait. Yeah. Thanks for listening. Okay. Have you ever listened to Swag on the Beat podcast and wanted to hear more about stuff?
Yeah. Isaac, we have two of our oldest friends who are actually twins, Oliver and Lucas.
Yes. Old in friendship to us, not old in age.
No, old in friendship. They've been around since early primary school for us and stuff. Oliver actually helps out occasionally filming, or he's been in a couple.
He's
of
been in
videos.
a couple of vids, yeah.
But I had this idea because they are probably the two smartest guys at school and definitely through university.
I'd say so.
Did they get the highest mark in school, like 1 and 2 or something like
Something
that?
like it.
But they went on to keep studying in university. And Oliver is a PhD in astrophysics, and Lucas is a PhD in pure
Yeah.
mathematics.
We're talking seriously
We're
smart
talking
dudes.
like seriously smart dudes, and you would always try and sit next to them in school because you know your mark would go up by an average of 20%. So if you put a heat map on the classroom for marks, it'd be centered around either Lucas or Oliver, and then it was sort of dispersed out.
And
like
I
that.
remember them being generous with their
Very generous.
letting you peer over their shoulder and write exactly what they wrote.
They're geniuses of the people.
Yes.
Not like these elitists you get these days.
Yeah.
That's why I wanted to have them on the show because, actually, first of all, we have them on the line. So Oliver and Lucas. Oliver, you there?
Yep, g'day.
And Lucas, how are you?
Yeah, what's going on?
Yeah,
Nice.
great.
Are you guys both in the same room?
Yep.
Nice.
Yeah, we're here.
That's nice.
As per,
Never
very
leave
twins.
each other's side,
Yeah,
eh? I
fantastic.
like it.
No, never.
Okay, guys, thanks so much for coming on at short notice. But I want to pitch you this idea, or we want to pitch you this idea, and see what you think. Okay, so
Righto.
we think that you guys are not only the two smartest people that we know, but definitely the smartest twins that we know. And what I want to do is put the call out to all of Australia, to anyone that knows a twin or maybe is a twin that thinks they could compete against you in a general knowledge quiz. And if they can, they are then dubbed the smartest twins in Australia and they take the crown. But I think that you guys are the smartest twins in Australia.
I think you guys should get the interim crown, and then you have to be knocked off.
Yes.
If
Yeah.
people think they're smarter twins than you guys.
because no one would be more qualified.
No.
So we currently have the crown then. We're on top.
Yeah, by default.
Yeah, by association to us. But yes, you are.
I guess what we're asking is, do you want to enter the ring to have your heavyweight champion title challenged?
Let's do it. Yeah, why not? I think we can take it.
Or are you happy to just chill with the honorary crown and you can just call it a day there? No, that's against the rules.
Well, they both sound pretty good, but no, I think we like a challenge. Why not?
Okay,
Yeah.
fantastic. Now, I will say that the way we're going to set up the quiz, you will be at a distinct disadvantage because to answer a question, you have to say your last name, and your last name is Anagnostu, which is longer, which is four syllables, and longer than most other surnames, I would say. So
hopefully you don't come up against Brad and Sam Smith.
Yeah, exactly, yeah. Which the Smiths, what?
Is a common name.
Common name. So it could be like that. But
How do you guys think you'll fare? Oliver,
Yeah,
how do you
yeah.
reckon you'll stack up against other twins of Australia?
I think we'll do pretty good. I mean, we've been twins for a long time, so I think we'll be pretty good at it.
So you reckon you've got the chemistry, do you?
I think we got the chemistry, yes, but I think Jack knows some of our weaknesses, and I feel like it's potentially going to be quite unfair towards us.
No,
with the
I'll make sure he's impartial with the
Look,
questions.
look, let's leave that. But I think that, I thought you might say something like, well, we're very specialized in our knowledge. But the great thing about these two guys, Isaac, Oliver and Lucas, is that they're very broad in their knowledge. Yeah, they've got Oliver's physics thesis is about what happens when two black holes collide, which is just like, can you imagine the maths on that?
Which you might think is just general knowledge, but it's actually not. It's quite complicated, actually.
But beyond that, his general knowledge is very broad, as is Lucas's. So I think it is actually a genuine challenge.
Yeah.
So thank you for saying yes, boys. We're very excited. And to anyone that wants to enter or knows that wants to put twins forward, go to swagonthebeat.com and hit podcast, and you can enter in there, or the main page of Swag on the Beat on Instagram. And we look forward to seeing who puts their name forward. But I honestly don't think we will ever find two people that are related like twins to be smarter than Oliver and Lucas.
I don't think so either. What, Ollie and Lucas, have you got any final words against anyone who dare challenge you?
Bring it on. We can take it. Make sure both twins have to be smart, right? It can't just have one carry.
Oh, interesting. Okay.
It is.
I reckon it's unfair if you have one if one's Einstein and then the other one's like,
runs a podcast.
Yeah, I don't know how fair that is,
Okay, we'll have to clarify the rules because I think it would be an aggregate smart value.
Yeah, I think it's aggregation. Hence the twins.
Maybe we'll make a minimum question answer requirement by each twin.
Oh, okay, so there has to be. So I think we'll do 10 questions, and it has to be answered by
minimum two
questions
answered each.
Any other rules you guys want to put in here before you start putting your crown on the line?
No spelling.
Okay. That's what I was not going to bring up before.
Yeah.
But it's general knowledge, so who knows? I think we're going to find the best general knowledge generator quiz test
that money can buy.
And we'll use that. And we're looking forward to it, boys. So please send in your twin friend or family member, or if you're a twin, swagonthebeat.com under the podcast page. We cannot wait to try this. Oliver and Lucas, thank you so much.
Thanks, guys.
Thank you.
Thank you, Anagnostus.
Peace.
Good luck. Jack, I've graduated from an everything in the pockets kind of guy to a
handbag guy. I did notice you with a new Prada.
Yeah.
It's wait, no, you got a backpack here.
Well, I mean, backpack takes precedent if that's ever required, but that's good because I'm bringing laptop here.
Oh, laptop, yeah.
But I'm not going to be carrying my laptop on my person all the time.
God,
but I'm talking about going out to a bar or going out for whatever.
Oh, right, okay.
Instead of everything in the pockets, I've just got a little over the shoulder bag,
like a tote bag.
No, it's more like it's closer to a handbag, I guess. What's it called? Little over the shoulder, like.
Ew.
Really? Man bag?
A man bag, yeah.
But it's I my whole life I've just been a pretty staunch phone, wallet, keys kind of operator. Sure. But now I've been enjoying
lip balm.
Not so much lip balm. You know my policy against big pawpaw. I think it just makes your lips drier. Bad pawpaw. And then keeps you coming back for more.
Make us pawpaw.
Yeah, exactly. But yes. So I mean, I've expanded into I made like tissues, chewies. Yep, toothpicks. I'm a very frequent food in the tooth stuck kind of guy.
Becoming a nomad.
Yeah, well, I mean, there's only so many things you can fit in a pair of jean pockets.
Sure, and your jeans are really tight usually.
Well, so, I mean, even with the decent amount of bag around the jeans that I usually wear, even still, especially nothing worse than sitting in the car in the driver's seat and having to retrieve something out of your pockets.
That is the worst. That is the worst.
I had a bit of almost a menti bezel the other day.
Menti bezel.
I got into the car. The car was open, so my keys were still in my pocket. I forgot to bring them out before sitting down. But reaching down into the jean pockets, and man, I was like, the seatbelt was on as well. I'm having another bezel.
You're fired.
But there's nothing more frustrating than trying to get stuff out of your pockets when you're sitting down the driver's seat.
Well, just thank God, because I wear those airtight Speedo shorts sometimes in summer. They're so comfortable. As soon as you sit down, it's like
I'd be cutting a hole in the
breathing
pocket so you can get in from the other side. But I found it's better. I mean, it's better to be over prepared than under prepared, right? It's better to have a lot of stuff in the bag rather than have a phone and wallet, keys in the pocket, but then not have, I don't know, a Band-Aid if you scratch it, you fall over and get a scratch.
Yes. You sound like you're a teacher on yard duty.
Well, no hat, no play is what I'm getting at. No, I'm saying better to be over-prepared than under-prepared.
Sure.
But I feel like that is within reason because there's an example of being...
You're pointing.
Not directed at you, but to get my point across. There's an example of an unnecessary over-preparation that I remember from when we were at school that you might remember.
I studied too much for exams or something.
Yeah, well...
Guilty as charged.
You can't over prepare for exams, is what I learnt. But this guy that we went to school with, who shall remain nameless due to the nature of this story,
Sure.
but he
What is this? Yeah.
came to a party in year 9 very over prepared for a situation that didn't really require the preparation that he had. I don't know if you remember this, but I think it was about year 9. We were going to one of the classic parties at Abe's house, where that was the party house that we would go to.
Yeah.
And this guy, I'm not going to say his name, but
Yeah.
he came to the party with a condom on.
Yeah.
You
remember this.
In case of a
I
sex
remember
emergency.
This. Yeah, I remember this. Because, he will remain nameless.
He will remain.
But he was saying, because he fancied one of the girls there. He liked one of the girls and he thought this was the night because it's a party. And he came that prepared. I remember
he thought he was such a high chance. There's just going to be so much likelihood of sex at this party for him.
It's like, oh, this is the golden ticket.
I'm not even going to have time to put it on at the party.
That much passion.
And I mean, there's a lot of logistics required in keeping that on the whole night, I would have to imagine.
What is he leaving home and saying, oh, getting excited a bit, putting it on, and then leaving saying, oh, see you, Mum, I'm going. And remaining excited the whole time?
Well, I mean,
he was clenching a lot at the party. I do remember his jaw was out here.
And not for any other reason.
That's what you have to do, right?
Yeah. Well, I mean, there's a lot of... We were not strangers to a couple of jumping fist pumps with the boys at these parties in year 9. So are you partaking in the bouncing fist pumps? Because that's... Oh, I mean, that gets the blood pumping and the energy.
What is a bouncing fist bump? What? This?
Oh,
sorry, right. I thought you
DJ.
meant like fist bumping.
No.
Or pumping.
Fist pumping.
Yeah, got ya.
There's a massive difference.
Okay, I was like, what? I don't remember that.
Fist bump on arrival.
Yeah, a
fist
lot of
pump
fist
to
on
Avicii levels. Blasting out the speakers with
which was an old song when we were young. But God, we played it for retro
your kids
reasons.
Gonna love it.
Yeah,
but I mean, it's impressive to say the least. If it did remain,
I think he was probably pivoting at his hips a bit to make sure he didn't look like he was being too obvious the whole time as well. If he was trying to remain excited the whole time, don't you think? Like he'd sort of walk around with it like a bit of a so that he didn't have this
so it wasn't
obtrusion
protruding.
Coming out of his
Yeah, I think no matter how much pivot the hips have got, when you're in year 9,
speak for yourself again.
That's not a good thing for you. Well,
people like different things. Different people, different horses for courses. Or no horses, actually. Because it was a cold... I mean, it was outside usually, those parties, right?
Yeah.
So he's battling the elements as well because cold outside.
Yeah.
So he's really tasked himself with this impossible feat.
So he's actually a hero, is what you're saying.
Well, in a way.
He's a champion for... If he did succeed... Well, did he succeed with the task at hand? Do we know?
No, I don't think he did. No, well, no. Look, because,
I think word got out at the party.
And it became all the guys were like pointing at him.
The fist pumps turned into an aggressive point.
Pointing, look at this guy.
Ha Nelson
Yeah,
style.
but he was obviously quite, distraught by the situation, I think.
Yeah.
It wasn't like everyone ended up laughing together going, how fun is this tonight?
How much of a legend am I for doing this?
Yeah, I know. It was kind of like, oh, okay.
You didn't have the intended
seriously
cool
misread the... Look, we're all standing there going, you look what you've done. Is that the right... Should we do that as well? We don't know what's going on. Everyone's pointing at each other.
We're over at the left side of the party with all the boys and all the girls are all over the other side.
Yeah, exactly.
And they're going, I don't know what's going on.
So at least he was the first one to cross over the threshold into... I'm trying to interact with other people, other genders.
Quickly turned around after they looked down and
with his something between his legs.
What the situation was.
Isaac, I really hate to do this, but I don't feel like I have any other choice.
Oh no!
It's time to get angry. Oh, that's it. Getting sick of it. I can't deal with it anymore. I'm about to blow. Mate, I'm blowing up. I'm blowing up.
Oh,
okay,
no, expletive ridden.
Yeah. So all those bleeps, fair income.
Yeah.
So I'm angry.
I can't even imagine what you were saying. You must be so angry.
Oh, I'm so angry.
Yeah.
But let me tell you why I'm angry. Okay. So my mother, her car. We all were going to an event together, so we all carpooled. Right. So we met in one spot and we all carpooled.
Yep.
To the event.
Yep.
It's
a classic tactic. It works every time.
Fuel consumption lowered. Vibes elevated
because
everyone's in there,
slightly reduced.
Well, that is a topic of conversation. Okay. So it's a smaller car, 5-seater, small car. The problem with the passenger front seat is it's one of those electric ones,
Ooh,
which is nice. But the function to go backwards is working, but the function to go forwards doesn't work anymore.
No.
Okay, so incrementally, every single person who has got it in the passenger seat has tried to go, I'll give the person behind me a bit of room, and you wiggle it a little bit,
Yeah.
right? And they go backwards a little bit. They go, stop! No, we can't go forward.
So there's no manual override.
There's no manual override.
no.
So this chair has been going closer and closer to the back of the car over and over. And we had a guest in the car who's quite a tall guy, and he was suffering a lot because he got in there and he didn't say anything. He was like, he was mumbling to himself, and he just held it all the way back and completed the experience for my brother. I think was in the back, and his knees were jamming because my brother's quite tall as well.
Long-legged.
So there's two long people on that side of the car, and basically, people need to stop pushing the chair back. We're sick of it. I want to make this a public announcement because people are not hearing the cries of us. We're being polite up to this moment in time. Mum can't handle it anymore. She's still very capable, but we cannot put up with this insolence anymore. We have to go turbo.
Okay.
So we are angry now.
Even though he didn't know.
Even though he should have known.
Before you put the chair back, may I please put this chair back?
Yeah. Bang.
Yeah.
You go straight back. Wiggle.
There's a
wiggle,
whole
wiggle,
family
wiggle.
in this car.
Whole family. Yeah. People aren't hearing it. We need to... We'll get the car fixed very soon, I'm sure. But in the meantime...
I can't believe he's done that.
I need
honestly.
everyone listening to this, everyone watching this, and you, and Michael, everyone in the room, you need to know we're very angry over here on our side of the fence. This is the only way I thought we could actually complete the task of getting everyone to hear it. Mike, take it away. Stop putting Mum's seat back! Yeah, great.
I just hit them with a one-liner.
One line,
That
that's
gets
all
the
you need.
message across.
Yeah, well, TikTok generation, people's attention spans aren't there anymore.
I've already scrolled.
We need to hit them between the eyes, okay? I think we've done that. I want that really loud in the mix too, by the way, Michael.
I don't even know what is a solution I can offer to you there.
Get the car fixed.
Put another chair in front of the passenger chair with all that space in front, and then you can fit an extra
three-row
person
car.
there. Yeah.
Little hatchback. Anyway,
Yeah.
so...
That's I can't believe he's done that. Your
I'm feeling a lot better.
anger is perfectly reasonable and not
thank you.
misplaced in any way.
Yeah.
He should have known when getting in a car that using one of the basic functions.
Just ask.
I
do it every time I get in the car. So does your seat move back and forward? Just to make sure.
Yeah.
What
This
kind
isn't
of,
one
what
of
kind of
those-
maniac gets in a car and just starts wiggle-waggling the electric functions, which are known to break down occasionally?
I can't believe it.
I feel a lot better after getting that off my chest.
Yeah, I'm
Rage
glad.
Against the Machine always bringing it home for the
Well,
boys.
hopefully he doesn't listen to the rest of the Rage Against the Machine song and quote the line that they say at the end of
Oh, yeah.
"F you, I won't do it. You tell me."
Get some more expletives in there.
Because I mean, if he hears that and goes on a Rage Against the Machine journey, you're gonna be the machine.
It's almost full circle.
Yeah, and he's gonna be anti-authority to you, and he's
Well.
gonna keep moving it further back.
If he wants free car rides to more events, then he's going to have to keep his keep stum.
That's the trade-off. Yeah. Well, okay. So the passenger seat, that's the throne
It is
right now.
officially business class, but I feel I've got that off my chest. We can move on with our day now.
Okay.
Thank you for listening, and everyone, please take note. If you get in my mum's car, what are you doing in there first? And two, don't move the seat forward. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Ah.